Today on Outdoor Alabama, come with us as we go fishing with swim noodles in the upper Mobile-Tensaw Delta. And we'll show you how the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources is helping to protect and preserve this very important resource. Finally, we'll take you flounder fishing in the lower Delta. So don't go anywhere. Outdoor Alabama is next.
The Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Foundation presents Outdoor Alabama.
Welcome to Outdoor Alabama and the wild and wonderful Mobile-Tensaw Delta. I'm Kevin Dodd. The Delta region is unique in Alabama and offers so much to do and see outdoors. First up, come along with Jerry DeBen and me for a trip to the Delta during the spring. Whenever I'm in this area, I'm always torn between spending my time turkey hunting or taking a few hours to fish the rich waters of the Delta. You really never know what you might catch.
Gar! I was waiting for one of those. Good. I didn't want you anyway.
So today, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. While we listen for a gobbler, we'll broaden our opportunities by jug fishing. Jug lines are simple fishing devices that are basically a set line on the move. Before gobbling time early this morning, we set out a couple of dozen jug lines that I made out of the swim noodles available at the local discount store. After the hooks were baited and in the river, we ran to several locations trying to locate a gobbling turkey.
This doesn't bode well.
No.
$4 million birds, but I don't hear the right one. Let's ease down the river and listen another place.
Okay.
After making several stops in search of a gobbler without any luck, we decided to go back and check our jug lines with the hopes that we had some good fish hooked.
All right, next stop. That's what you like to see, that little V-wake behind the noodle.
Yeah.
And what you really like to see is for that noodle just submarine.
That's right. Used to love to see when we used the old antifreeze jug, they'd stand up.
Yeah.
Stand straight up.
Now, you'd take a big fish and take that thing under and hold it, but I've caught some 25, 30 pounds and then hold it under for about 20, 30 seconds, max.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. All right, we're just gonna have to charge him. You ready?
Yeah. No, he's not that big, but he's good enough.
He's a good fish.
Oh, right in the camera back. Where did pliers go?
I think you had him up there, Kevin. He's talking like a channel cat, but I don't see any spots
I
on
don't
it.
either. That's just the right size. Good eating
Channel
fish.
cat's got the deep V in their tail. I think that is channel cat. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? They eat about the same, so.
Put him in the live well. Why did you put him in on my side and get me splashed?
This is the second run. First one we did before daylight. Now it's about 9:30. We hadn't heard any turkeys gobble, so we're gonna rebait, change into some shorts, and devote ourselves full time to fishing. You know, Jerry, I talked about how low cost this is. You got a boat and a few noodles. It's a lot of fun, pretty low cost.
Now, Kevin, you worked down here, what, 18 years?
About 18 years, yeah. Long time.
And
Can't figure out why I left this place.
you worked enforcement in this county for 18 years.
This was my bailiwick. Is it tip? Yeah, he's chugging it. I think there's a fish on that one, Jerry. You gonna bring me up alongside, or?
I'll bring you alongside.
All right.
I'll make it easy for you.
I appreciate it. My back's getting sore.
Mine is too. May have something to do with the time we got up this morning.
Hard left. All right. Ooh, ooh. Well, he feels pretty good. He'll do.
Yeah.
He will do.
Now that's good frying size. All right.
Tell you what I need to do is watch out for these hooks on the deck. Being barefoot.
You know what? We have enough for supper.
I think so. If you noticed, I hadn't rebaited the last 3 or 4 I picked up.
Yeah.
And it's getting warm.
Yes, it is.
And there's more than I want to clean in there already, so. Let's say we call it a morning.
I like it.
All right.
It's been a good trip in the Delta.
Let's pick up the last few and head to the house. Is that all of them? The next time you find yourself turkey hunting along your favorite lake or stream, give jug fishing a try. Like I said, you never know what you'll catch. We'll be right back.
After the break, see the majesty of the Mobile-Tensaw Delta and the efforts taken to protect it.
Action, Mickey.
So, the Remove Our Rivers program cleaned up all the trash, huh?
Cut. It's Renew Our Rivers, not Remove Our Rivers. Okay.
So, the Redo Our Rivers program
Cut.
cleaned up...
It's Renew Our Rivers.
That's what I said.
You said redo.
Going again.
Yeah, I need to take...
Not everyone gets it right 100% of the time, but some of us come pretty close. 99.9% reliability. Alabama Power, always on.
I'm the guy that ties a mattress to the roof of his car with a single piece of twine.
I always leave my shopping cart on a downhill slope.
You're gonna meet them sooner or later. So we're ready. With fair rates and fast service.
I've had my right blinker on since 1983, but I'm actually turning left.
For everybody. Let's talk about tomorrow.
Timber. We're blessed with an abundance of this valuable resource, which must be properly managed. Part of timber management includes harvesting. This allows sunlight to reach the forest floor, enabling vegetation growth that creates additional food and habitat for our wildlife. Private landowners that responsibly manage their land help assure that we will have healthy wildlife populations and healthy forests forever. This message brought to you by the Alabama Forest Forever Foundation.
Alabama's Forever Wild program has acquired and protected over 130,000 acres of habitat, protecting Alabama's unique heritage of plants, animals, rivers, and streams. From the walls of Jericho to the Mobile-Tensaw Delta, take the opportunity to visit your public lands. Purchase a Forever Wild car tag and help protect more land. To learn more, call your local probate office or visit our website at alabamaforeverwild.com.
The Mobile-Tensaw Delta is one of Alabama's most natural preserved areas, and because of its uniqueness, it's listed on the National Register of Natural Landmarks.
With the joining of the Alabama and Tombigbee rivers and all their tributaries, this wetland landscape, Alabama's largest national natural landmark, is the second largest delta in the nation, exceeded only by the mighty Mississippi River Delta. Covering an area in Baldwin and Mobile counties that's about 30 miles long and 12 miles wide, this 200,000-acre wetland complex sits at the base of the 43,600 square mile Mobile Basin. The Mobile River is recognized as being the third largest river system in the nation, discharging an average of 63,160 cubic feet per second. The waters here filter the discharge of a watershed from 15 interior rivers that drain what may be the most geologically and biologically diverse area in the country. In late winter and early spring, floods cleanse and feed the wetland system. The upper delta filters about 28 million gallons per minute, which drain from a watershed comprised of portions of Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. This filtering process helps buffer the state's fisheries in the lower delta and Mobile Bay. The commercial and recreational fisheries are vital to the state, generating approximately $130 million of revenue each year. The economic impact alone is reason to protect the delta and its fisheries resources. With this awareness, the department began acquiring lands as funding became available, with the first significant acquisition of 4,100 acres occurring in the early 80s. 10 years later, another significant purchase occurred in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, resulting in the addition of over 23,000 acres. That purchase came about through mitigation requirements of the Tennessee Tombigbee Waterway construction. In 1998, when faced with the opportunity to purchase another large portion of the Delta lands, the Forever Wild program received valuable financial assistance from the Alabama Wildlife Federation, the Nature Conservancy of Alabama, Ducks Unlimited, and federal funds secured through the Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Division. Through this significant partnership, over 47,000 acres of environmentally rich Delta lands came under state management. Of that acreage, the Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Division holds title to 11,500 acres. Since that acquisition in 1999, the State Lands Division, under the guidance of the Forever Wild Board, has secured more than 12,000 additional acres through various generous grant programs. Additional partnerships with the Alabama Forestry Commission, the Alabama Forest Resources Center, and the Forest Legacy Program helped the Forever Wild Board support a multi-year effort to secure threatened upland habitats adjacent to the Mobile-Tensaw Delta. These acquisitions have protected a tremendous diversity of plants, animals, and natural habitats, and have increased recreational opportunities. Birding, boating, camping, canoeing, fishing, and hunting are a few of the many fun and exciting activities for the outdoor enthusiasts. That's why conscientious stewardship, like that provided by the State Lands Division, is necessary by all users so that the valuable Delta is protected now and for generations to come. When Outdoor Alabama returns, we'll learn more about the Mobile-Tensaw Delta, and later we'll travel down to the lower Delta to do a little flounder fishing.
The magazine. Discover the wonder by subscribing today.
He lived in a log cabin and he was born in Kentucky. Does anyone have questions?
Can we have class outside today?
Any questions?
Can we have class outside today? My science is
You can prepare for a career that takes you outside by enrolling in Auburn University's School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences. Forestry and Wildlife Sciences at Auburn University. Have class outside today.
Abundant winter and spring rains flush through the hills and valleys, picking up sediments as they flow. As the rivers enter the delta region, they push the salt waters out of the channel and begin to slow, dropping layers of silt and clay. This process of slowing down the river's water and allowing sediments to settle out into the surrounding wetlands filters pollutants and benefits downstream habitats within the greater Mobile Bay estuary. As floodwaters infiltrate bottomland hardwood forests, the water slows down as it passes through the trees of the forest, allowing sediment to be deposited within the bottomland area. Trees and other vegetation take up the water and nutrients during the growing season, producing flowers, fruits, and masts that become utilized by animals. These intricate ecological processes form the basis for the area's food chain and also have a downstream effect on the bay's food chain. Oyster beds in the bay benefit from this buffering of excessive sedimentation.
Approximately 2/3 of the state of Alabama, when it receives rainfall, that rainfall flows to this system, the Mobile Tensile Delta. So in the state, when it receives the rainfall, if the rainfall doesn't flow into the Tennessee River, the Chattahoochee River, the Escatawpa River, or the Perdido River, it flows to this area. And when it does, it flows at a velocity in which it carries a lot of sediments such as sand, silt, organic matter, and other small particles of soil. And when it does, the water level continues to rise at a point in which it reaches this small area that I'm on right now, a natural river levee. And as it does, the river column of water, when it comes over this area, it slows down to a point where those suspended sediments actually fall out of the water column, and it builds this natural river levee through years and years of accretion or the deposition of those soil particles on this area. And it makes a perimeter around the interior parts of these islands, which you can see behind me. It's a swamp dominated by cypress and tupelo gum, and it's a permanent water system due to this river levee that surrounds this area and keeps that water in there.
The delta's location and unique formation create ecological circumstances that result in a diverse array of natural habitats, serving as a rich example of biological diversity. The high-quality natural areas support many wildlife species, including osprey, otter, alligator, alligator snapping turtle, and black bear, as well as game animals, waterfowl, wading birds, and bald eagles. The area is also rich in many species of rare plants, unique timber, and other vegetation. The state record cypress tree is in the delta, along with at least 32 species of rare plants, including some found nowhere else in the world. Recreational opportunities include fishing, camping, canoeing, and picnicking, as well as hunting in specifically designated areas. Stewardship activities supporting management of the delta area include scientific studies of plants and animals, and recreational improvements like the Bartram Canoe Trail. The trail allows exploration of the delta from its waterways, diminishing the effects of human activity on the natural landscape. Everyone who visits this wonderfully wild area bears some responsibility to maintain it as it is, forever wild for future generations. Stay tuned, we'll be back with some great delta fishing. Mobile Tensas Delta has been described as a natural wonder, an outdoor lover's paradise. But many either overlook or ignore the Delta when listing Alabama's top fishing spots. The quality of fishing is good for a number of reasons. Variety of sport fish species, abundance of fish, catch rates, and access. Fishing in the Delta is a challenge for anglers because of the unique nature of the river delta and estuary. In the spring, an amazing event occurs. Heavy spring rains converge in the Delta, producing what we refer to as a flood pulse. This pulse, or sudden rise of water level, triggers certain riverine fish to spawn. Eggs that hatch are spread into the floodplain, which serves as a nursery. As water levels recede, some small fish make it back into the river and deeper waters. Others get trapped in backwater pools. As the flood levels continue to drop and return to normal levels, these pools gradually shrink and become shallow. The fish, frogs, crawfish, and other small residents of these pools become a major portion of the food chain for various wading birds and the Delta's many predators. The blending of salt and fresh water in the Bay and Delta transition zone enhances fishing opportunities for catching popular marine sport fish, such as speckled trout, white trout, redfish, and flounder, in addition to the freshwater species, sometimes on the same trip. Let's join Rick Lyles and Bill Rawls on a flounder fishing trip and see what kind of luck they have in what can sometimes be challenging waters.
What we have here, Rick, is we got the river coming down close to this point and makes a bend in this area right here. Point comes out, and we got a ledge. That, the current from the river is washing bait fish across that ledge, and the flounder lay right on that drop-off waiting for the bait to come across, and they'll pick it off. And what we're trying to do is simulate the bait fish, and we'll let them just nail it as we come across the ledge.
Oh yeah, look at this one. He's not hooked yet. All right.
That's your typical flounder right here. That one will be about 14, 15 inches. Just a fine eating fish right there, just perfect for either frying or baking.
We publish, the Marine Resources Division publishes a tide chart for the entire year. And
yes, sir.
You can pick one of those up at most bait shops, or you can go to outdooralabama.com and click
That's
on
the
fishing.
first thing I do every year is grab that, because that is the handiest thing I've got.
It's pretty popular.
It's the best around. Well, if we get a lot of rain up, say around Montgomery and Birmingham, about 7 days later, that water will hit us down here, and it'll muddy this place up and it'll shut them down. The local rain right here really doesn't bother them. It pretty well runs off and gets out in the Gulf fast. With that muddy water, it'll shut them down. This is an old rock pile out in the middle of the bay. We came out in here. Basically, we don't have any wind. We don't have any tide today. The current's pretty well gone dead. We're just hoping we can pick out a couple here off of these rocks. That wind will pick back up. It's not going to stay dead long around Mobile.
Well, this kind of no current, no wind, no anything kind of scatters the bait, doesn't it?
I think it does.
And so bait's scattered, the fish are scattered.
They're just not concentrated like they would be if the wind was blowing and pushing them up someplace and channeling. If you had a current.
All right.
That's one we'll put the net on. Right there, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, great fish, great fish.
No, I didn't say fish, I said wrong. Saying fish ain't been working too good for me.
Beautiful fish. That's how bad he wanted that. He nailed that thing. It's been a really strange day, very unusual here from Mobile Bay, real calm and everything. Finally got a front coming through, got some wind, and it's blowing some the water across this flat here, pushing the bait across it, and we're able to catch some fish right now.
Creating a current across this flat.
Getting some good current. Yes, sir. Oh, you got one now. All right. Swing him on.
Think I can swing him in?
You can swing him on in. Put him in there.
All right. Boy, that's
nice
a nice
fish, Rick. Nice fish.
Nice fish. You know, just proves we've had tough conditions today. We've stayed with it. We've watched the way the water, you know, laid out for us and the bait, and we had a good day.
I've had a fantastic day. It's been a pleasure having. I hope you'll come back, Rick.
I will be.
And great.
I'll be back. You can be sure of it. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Thank you.
Good hunting, great fishing, a wide variety of wildlife species, and an astounding array of trees and flowers makes for a perfect combination. The Mobile Tensaw Delta is well worth exploring. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to be back next week for more adventures in Outdoor Alabama.
Outdoor Alabama has been brought to you by Alabama Power at Southern Company, Alpha and the Alabama Farmers Federation, Auburn University School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, the Alabama Bureau of Tourism and Travel,